Ladies and gentlemen, marks and smarks, cavers of all ages, welcome to the very first, the debut episode of our new YouTube series called Independent Education. Today what we are going to talk about in particular is a rather new promotion that has popped up on the scene. You may have heard of it by now. It's called All Elite Wrestling. Yes, it's official, ladies and gentlemen, the promotion being led by billionaire Tony Khan. You might know him from his involvement in the Jacksonville Jaguars and Fulham FC. His involvement is real, and it is a real thing. All Elite Wrestling was announced on January 1st on the Being the Elite YouTube channel. Now let's take a look at what we know so far about AEW. Well, the first thing we can tell you about is the roster. Let's get into some of these names, shall we? First off, we have the obvious of Cody and Brandi Rhodes. Cody will be one of the executive producers, and Brandi will serve as the chief brand officer. We also have the Young Bucks and Hangman Page. Young Bucks also serving as executive producers, and Hangman Page going, he says, for the first championship. We also got clarification on some names that were swirling about and now made official in Britt Baker and SoCal Uncensored. You might know them: Chris Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky. So this is shaping out to be a pretty good roster so far. After the announcement of the signing of Hangman Page, he came out and said a few words about wanting to become the first AEW champion. That was all well and good until some music hit and out came Pac, aka Neville, and he was ready for a fight. He was even in his ring gear and had his Dragon Gate title in tow. Basically what he said was he's now in AEW too, and if Hangman wants to become champion, he'll have to get in line right behind Pac. Some other signings that we can tell you about that were announced throughout the show. From some run-ins. One we can tell you about is Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who you might know as MJF. He is a former MLW middleweight champion and has fought in some other promotions like CZW. Another CZW alum, Bad Boy Joey Janela, who you saw in All In, among other places like PWG and GCW, is also signed to the promotion, and a very, very talented female in Penelope Ford will look to add something to the women's division as well. Now, the next piece of information we're going to talk about is huge. I mean huge. Chris Jericho. Yes, that Chris Jericho. His Fozzy music hit, and before long he emerged through the fireworks and smokes to say that he is all elite. Jericho said himself, he's not coming to AEW for the money. He has the money. He's here to do something different. And what better way to do something different than to help launch a brand new promotion? I think this is the biggest signing yet and will help to get more eyes onto this new promotion, and hopefully it will bring more stars too. Next, we can tell you that the first show for All Elite Wrestling promotion will be held on May the 25th in Las Vegas, Nevada at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, and it will be called Double or Nothing. This is a fitting title for a group of men who indeed are going double or nothing by starting this promotion. They're trying something new and different, and I commend them all and can't wait until the first show. Hopefully, WrestleCade will be in attendance. The Young Bucks and Cody also announced their second show will take place in Jacksonville, Florida, with a large portion of the gate going to the victims of gun violence. That in and of itself is a great gesture on their part. No date or venue has been announced for that one, but I'm sure we will learn more in the coming weeks and months. Throughout the show, we received other news that female and male wrestlers will be paid equally, that they are also working on getting benefits for those who would be working full-time under the promotion, and that wins and losses will in fact count. Lastly, Matt Jackson pointed out that they will be working with a wrestling promotion in China called OWE, Oriental Wrestling Entertainment. And specifically, he mentioned a group called the Good Hearts, which he described as Cirque du Soleil meets wrestling. So I, for one, cannot wait to see these guys show up and see what they have to offer. Now, it was not announced today that they have a TV network deal in place, but I do believe that they will get one in the coming weeks. There has been many reports that have said they have had offers on the table and been in talks with multiple companies. Now, I know that that's just what it is. It's just talks, but hey, we have to talk about something, right? And I am optimistic that they will get a deal done with a major network sooner rather than later. One last piece of information that I can give you on the way out is that they have announced via Twitter that All Elite Wrestling has brought in the badass Billy Gunn to work behind the scenes as a producer. He has been working on the indie scene in recent years, so I think that he knows the climate well enough that he can do well in this type of environment. I appreciate everybody for tuning into this video, but on my way out, I want to wrap up what we know so far about All Elite Wrestling, AEW. What we got was the announcement of lots of signings, including SCU, Pac, and Jericho, just to name a few. We also learned about Double or Nothing. The first show for All Elite Wrestling will be May 25th in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. The second show will be coming in Jacksonville with no date or venue set yet. Be sure to look out for more information on their Twitter and YouTube channel. Thank you everybody for tuning into the first episode of Independent Education, where we took a look at what we know so far about All Elite Wrestling. And hopefully in the coming weeks and months we will learn a lot more. But for now, this has been 30 Case for Wrestle Cave. I am going to sign off, but you can follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook, Wrestle Cave Podcast. Like us or join the group, but make sure to check out our next episode of Independent Education and make sure you do your research.